What's that?
What kind of angel fish is it? Majestic angel?
Yeah, an emperor angel fish.
Emperor angel, there we go. I knew I was going to get it right there. But he's a really cool character, so we have a name for him, but obviously we couldn't name everything in here.
Yeah, so with all these fish, we don't all have names, but he actually came to us from someone with a personal aquarium, but he sort of outgrew it. You can see he's pretty big, and he'll also live to be about 30 or 40 years old. So luckily we were able to give him a home here in a nice big tank.
That's right.
So I'm sort of a local celebrity here, fish with a name, but I see some other sort of celebrity fish in here, also to your right. Does anyone see these bright blue fish with a bright yellow tail? No, has anybody in here seen Finding Nemo? Alright, yeah, that's what I like to see. So, Diver Aaron, I see Dory in here. What is another name for that fish?
Dory is a blue tang, or surgeon fish. And she's part of the tang family, which we have a lot of in here. They're really funny little fish. Very, cool attitude and personality. They have a funny trick that they'll do, especially in an aquarium at home. They'll lay on their side and act like they're asleep. A lot of fish keepers kind of freak out. What's wrong with my fish? So they're just kind of resting, hanging out. And they pop that up and they swim around. That was goofy fish for sure. But all tangs have a really neat little hook on the end of their tail that acts like a knife. And that's what they help defend themselves with. So they'll swim by fish that are harassing them and try to poke them with their little knife on their fin. Which is kind of why they're called surgeon fish.
Yeah, so Dory is actually a pretty tough fish, and that bright yellow tail might be a warning to others to stay away. And well, to complete the story here, Diver Aaron, I see we do have an anemone down over there with an orange and white striped fish. Is that a clownfish?
That is a clownfish. That's an Ocelurus clownfish. And they're hanging out in their anemone right there. They want to feed up. And just like Finding Nemo, you got it.
Could you remind us of that special relationship between clownfish and the anemones?
Yeah, absolutely. So, clownfish are some of the few fish that an anemone won't sting, and they won't try to eat. There's a mucus covering on the fish that helps not trigger the stinging cells of the anemone. So what they do is they hang out in the anemone, and they guard the anemone really well. They guard their territory and their nest. And, you know, they kind of bring food in accidentally, and they're all fish ways kind of help feed the anemone too. So it's a little symbiotic relationship there for sure. Very cool. For most other fish, if they were to come into an anemone, they'd probably get stung.
Yeah, definitely. So with all of these different species, all these different animals, all living in the same place in the coral reef, they have to come up with some creative ways to survive with each other. The anemone fish and the anemone, and then also that algae and the coral. And then we have another fish in here called a cleaner wrasse. And I don't see one right now. They're pretty small.
Let's see here.
They have a bright blue tail and a big broad black stripe, and they have a pretty creative way of getting food. What does the cleaner wrasse do, Diver Aaron?
Well, the cleaner wrasse is a little tiny fish like this, and what he does is he picks little parasites off of other fish, and he eats them for himself. The other fish don't mind this at all. They treat it almost like a cleaning station. They'll come in with their several cleaning wrasses, and they'll get all cleaned up, picked up, and they won't try to eat the wrasses at all. Even really big, aggressive, predatory fish like barracudas and whatnot will allow the wrasses to pick on them, even swim in and out of their gills and in their mouth and whatnot. It's pretty wild to watch. So they kind of have the get out of jail free card when it comes to big fish. Try not to eat them.
Yeah, so pretty interesting relationship. One fish gets a meal, the other fish gets a bath. So again, some creative ways of finding food here in the coral reef. And well, Diver Aaron, I could ask you a lot more questions about all of these fish, but would you be able to take some questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
Does anybody have any questions for our diver? Yeah.
What is the coral reef?
Okay, so what is the coral reef?
Well, coral's a very interesting animal. And you asked that question earlier, what are they? Corals are animals that actually have algae living inside them. So they have a plant living inside them, and the plant itself uses the sunlight like most normal plants do to photosynthesize and create sugars and energy. And that goes into the coral. The coral provides a home for the algae to live safely. And so it's a nice symbiotic relationship. We're going to get the same with the water movement in this tank. Corals don't just rely solely on photosynthesis from their algae inside them. They actually won't pick up what they're feeding they'll filter feed out of the water and pick up local breeze, whether it be tiny, plankton, even fish sometimes. Pretty much whatever they can grab onto, they will eat as well. So they have many choices as far as eating.
Yeah, good question. Any other questions for our diver? Yeah, back there. Okay, good question. So we talked about how long the emperor angelfish can live, 30 years or so. What are some of the lifespans of the other fish in here?
Well, it really varies. A lot of the high-energy smaller fish don't have quite the lifespan because they are pretty stressed out fish and constantly moving around, and they tend to be prey fish as well, so they do get picked off pretty quick. As far as if they aren't picked off, they could be anywhere from 5 to 10 years for a majority of these guys. A lot of these large unicorn tanks and stuff like that would definitely live longer, 20, 25 years. And in captivity, of course, where we take out a lot of the stresses of the natural world, they can live for a lot longer for sure. And it really varies per species.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of different fish in here, a lot of different lifespans. And we were talking about the cleaner wrasse earlier. It just made an appearance down here. They tend to set up shop over in this sort of cave area and over in that area there. So that's where fish know to go get cleaned if they need a bath.
That's right, it's the power for fish.
Definitely. Any other questions about this tank? About our diver, about coral reefs? Well, I have more. Oh, there we go. What is it? Okay. Yeah. So we see there's some kind of creature stuck on the window of the tank over there. Is that a sea urchin?
That's a sea urchin. That one doesn't have a lot of spines on it at the moment. But if I just get some different type of species, it looks like we have large black ones in here too, and really long, actually rather dangerous, sharp spines that most divers have to look out for. But that's just another species of sea urchin. Sea urchins are really common in reefs. They eat up algae and other kind of debris and detritus that comes on the ground. But they also have to climb up the windows here, trying to get all over the place, so we have to watch out for them.
Yeah, so this sea urchin's giving us kind of a unique show here. We don't usually get to see the underside of them. Is there time for one more question down here? Great question. So we're wondering about the Philippines. Why a Philippine coral reef tank? Why the specific area?